Many of you probably know someone or yourself personally that is living off of the minimum wage. It varies from state to state, but in Iowa, it's set at $7.25 an hour. Today, I will be talking about the background information on the minimum wage, the economic support and psychological benefits, and lastly, I will be talking about the impact the minimum wage has on Iowans. Some may think that raising the minimum wage will make their everyday products more expensive, but in reality, lifting people out of poverty and helping them get a head start actually has economic benefits on the economy. First, we will go over the history and the background of the minimum wage. It's a long one, but it's one that's important to know. In 1938, at the height of the Great Depression, the federal minimum wage was passed under Franklin D. Roosevelt. And in 1949, it was raised from 40 cents to 75 cents an hour. And at that time, it was a tremendous increase. According to NBCMiami.com, it has now been changed 22 times under 12 different presidents. And because of this, 29 states now have their own minimum wage standards. This is so important because raising the minimum wage is very impactful on families. Now we are going to move on to the economic support and psychological benefits. As I said earlier, it helps families get a head start and many other things. As the cost of living is continuing to rise, families' incomes are not keeping up, and most families and homes are living off of one common paycheck, making it harder and harder to keep up. Even raising the minimum wage by $1 would help limit the amount of people who are taking their own lives. It has many mental health impacts because people will have to worry less about what they're going to have to pay for, what they choose to pay for. This is super important because it helps not only the United States, but everyone that lives in Iowa. The impact the minimum wage has on Iowa is super important on helping them get out of debt and helps them pay their bills on time. According to AmericanProgress.org, 80% of Iowans say that they can't provide for their families on the Iowa minimum wage. Increasing the minimum wage just even $10.10 per hour would help 306,000 people a year get out of poverty. This would all be such a great improvement on the no-ability poverty rate by 9%, bringing 270 million people out of debt, according to epi.org. Oh my gosh. Now you can see why the minimum wage is so important on helping families. Okay, today we went over the history and background on the minimum wage, the economic support and psychological benefits, and lastly, we went over the impact the minimum wage has on Iowans. I hope you will all think more about and try to help in making a difference to bringing the minimum wage up. I forgot the whole